I want to show you guys how to layer colors a little bit and mix colors. Even though these are color pencils, you can still layer them up and create new colors with them. So I will start with the teddy bear, and when you layer colors up, you want to put the lightest colors down first. I'll show you why in just a moment. Also, I'm going to be looking for any areas where I see a highlight, a white highlight, and I'm going to leave that the white of the paper. If you try to color white over the top of a color pencil, it's not going to show up very well. So I would just leave any areas that you see that are white in your object, leave them the white of the page. And I'm starting with just a sort of base layer yellow, even though this looks a little bit orangey, this teddy bear. You can add red over the top. You guys have really shown me that you have an idea of color theory with the daily attendance assignments. So I trust that you know that you can add a little red over the top of yellow to turn it orange. Okay, so I'm going to press down a little harder with the yellow because if you look at this teddy, it's mainly yellow. It's just a little bit orange as well. We call that yellow-orange. So pressing down pretty hard with the yellow, that way you can use your orange if you have orange, or if you have red, you can use red. And just add a really light layer, and you will get the color that you're looking for. I might even use the orange as almost a shadow, so I won't put it everywhere. Okay, I could even choose to go in with a black or even a pencil if you don't have a black color pencil, and add some shading over the top. I started with the yellow, so now I can see the yellow peeking through even in a shaded area. And I'm choosing to alter the pressure that I'm putting on the bear when I'm adding my darker values. If I went in and pressed really hard with this orange or with the black, then it would probably cover up a lot of the yellow, which is not something I want in this particular case. So really play with your pressure that you apply. I like to change directions when I'm coloring as well, rather than just coloring in one straight line like this, because then you get a softer look. You can't see like the line of the pencil quite as much. A nice vibrant red. Don't be afraid to really press down hard with your color pencil. If you're in a smaller area like this, don't be too lazy to sharpen your pencil, even if it's already sharpened, to get a finer point. That way you can get into areas that are have finer details. If you don't have more of a complicated, elaborate color, just go right in with the pressure. Otherwise, layer up slowly. And I think I'm ready now to go ahead and start looking at the body. If you look closely, it's not just going to be white. There are a lot of sort of gray, blue shadows involved, and I am going to work on trying to get some of those in. For those, I'm going to press really, really lightly, because even though there's shadows, they're on white, so they're not going to be that dark. Could go in with the black now, really lightly though. I'm barely touching my paper, just because I didn't want that shadow to be blue, even though it does have a little bit of a blue tinge. So here I am layering my colors a little bit again. This has more of a yellow tone to it. So when I add my shadow to the duck's neck, I'm going to go in first with that lighter color, remember. and then I can go over the top with my dark shadow. And then he has this crazy, crazy sort of gobble looking texture. And I'm gonna try to communicate that texture with my pencil. It's nice and sharp, so I can get some sharp textural lines going on to try to describe the fact that it's a different surface that I'm looking at here. I start with my lighter lines, and then I might build upon those and press down a little bit harder. I've got my skin color here. I'm lucky enough to have a peach color pencil, but I imagine that not all of you do, so I'm going to show you how I would layer up to try to achieve a peach color. First of all, yellow is your lightest color, and then I'll go in with my red as lightly as I can press down. If you have a peach color, absolutely go in with that and save yourself the trouble. My background. I do have darker trees than I do grass. So when I go in with the green here, I can be mindful of that. I have blue as well. I'm gonna add some blue because it will show up, hopefully, a little bit against the green, and I can get some texture going on. I didn't add much detail to the trees in the background when I was drawing them, just because it's very easy to simplify what I see just with these textured marks that I'm making. You get the point that these are trees even without me sitting there and trying to draw every single leaf that I see. Okay, like I said, I'm not going to be too scared to really press down for this. This is too bright, this green. You can see that it doesn't match up very well with the green that you see there, but it is lighter than black and brown, so I'm going to apply this first, and then I might go in with some black and brown to darken it. But you want to get the sort of the lightest color on the page before you start to try to darken it by layering any other colors, as I did with the bear. I might add some red as well. Some of you might know that red and green are complementary colors, which means that they're across from one another on the color wheel, but that also means that if you mix the two together, you're going to get some sort of brown. And you can see that's what's happening here, which is good. It's kind of what I want in this case. Trick to color theory is as long as you know what's going to happen, you can plan for it, and there's really no wrong way to use materials, to use color, as long as you know in advance what you're getting yourself into. Okay, I think I do want to go in with some legitimate brown as well. And we have cows. I said I was gonna wait to do these because they're a little bit too far away for it to be worthwhile. Yeah, there you go. It's like an armadillo or something. I could do some little legs coming out here and there to show that this may or may not be a herd of something. The next thing I'm going to focus on is the grass. So the grass is lighter than the trees, and it also has a little bit more yellow in it. I'm going to be pretty liberal in the yellow. The cool thing about the yellow is that you can press down pretty hard on it, and it's It's something that's easy to cover up. So let's go in with some of my green. Might go in with a little bit of more pressure, especially in the foreground, to really show those blades of grass. Maybe I'll even do some blades that are going over the top of this bear just to really ground it in the landscape, make it look like it's a part of the landscape. I have some longer, darker pieces over here as well to add emphasis to certain parts of the grass so it's not all just one pattern. Eventually, my marks are going to peter off as they get further back. I might even go in with a little bit of blue. I'm just curious what that will do to my grass. Yeah, it's darkening it a little bit more. It's nice to have it be uneven. Some areas that are darker and some areas that are a little lighter is what I mean by uneven. Just because then it makes it look more natural. You can almost treat color pencils like it's a painting. If you don't press down too hard on the first couple layers, it gives you a lot of freedom to build up your drawing. I'm definitely trying to have my lines going in different directions as well to show that the ground is not even, because it was like kind of a rolling hill. And that is why I kind of like the values changing as well, or the shadows changing. It just shows the terrain a little bit better. Lines going this way make it seem like there's kind of a hill. And just like that, I was cut off because I ran out of storage on my phone. I'll show you the finished project here. I want to talk about a couple things, but I think you guys got the point anyways. For the grass, you saw how many layers I did. I started out with the yellow and then really lightly over the top with green, and then added some texture, thicker, darker, longer marks in the foreground to show that the grass is closer to you. You didn't see me go in at the end with this black. It's black color pencil. I wanted to go in to create some cast shadows from my objects in the foreground and in the background in a couple places, just to really push things into the landscape a little bit more. And with the lighting, I'm not sure if you can see, but the sky, I decided to do a very light layer of blue and add some black over that as well, because it was a little bit of a cloudy day. That's pretty much all you guys missed, so not too disappointing. I also added the pen marks here to really add some emphasis to certain parts of my drawing. I went back over some of the texture in the bird's beak, and things like that. So this is it. And you guys can go ahead and start on your projects, adding color to your projects today. Bye.